Hello, hello, hello everybody. This is Elissa from Make Arts and Crafts, and today I am going to show you a little bit about my process of how I go through doing a bling for a kit. Let me move the kitten because she's going to make a lot of noise. So we are going to go over Lunar New Year or Mew Year Kitty. I've seen it both ways on Distracted by Diamonds website, and this is going to be one of the canvases that I'm working on for my February event that I'm hosting, which is the Lunar New Year DP Along, hashtag Lunar New Year DP24. So for this kit, I want to kind of show you a little bit about my process and what I'm going to do to add some bling to this kit. So as a caveat for this, all of the bling that I plan on using is going to be bling that I already have in my stash. So some of it may not be a perfect match, and that to me is completely fine because I'm going to go with what I will think of as the best bet and the best fit. So just looking at the canvas overall, I'll have the canvas laid out, and as you can see, it is a big kit. It is a 62 by 77, so it is a pretty big canvas. We'll go over like the top half of the canvas, and then we'll look at the bottom half, which I haven't laid out so you can see the top half, but you can see this is, if I move it a little bit, you can see here is our bottom half, and there will be some bling I want to do down here as well as over here in this corner. So we're going to kind of take it a little bit at a time once Mochi is done jumping along and making her way through. And I want to kind of show you a little bit of the process of what I want to do, especially the areas I want to bling. Just kind of looking at it, I know one of the things that I do want to add bling to is going to be primarily the lanterns. I kind of look at the big picture of it and what I want to add bling to from the big picture. In just looking at it like this, on the top half, I know I'm going to want to add like the reds and the golds. I want to add bling to the lanterns. Probably some bling along in here if that doesn't get blinged for some of the stuff. Same thing over here, the red and the golds in that area. As we come down and we look at this kit kind of coming down a little bit, we'll kind of move it like this. You can see just looking into it here, I'm probably not going to bling the cat up. I like to kind of pick what I'm going to do. So our kitty is going to stay pretty much like untouched. I will add bling onto the vest. Mostly I want to make these kind of stand out a little bit more of some of the golds of the vest. I'm definitely going to add bling right along into the symbol right here for the our card for our new year, for the good luck card there. Definitely down along on here, and then also onto our steamed buns that we have right here, our dumplings, right there. They look almost like the pot stickers more than anything, like gyoza. I want to do potentially add some shimmer, not necessarily on the buns, but on the gold or the yellows that you see around the plate. And then also all of these flowers. Those are great opportunities. Flowers to me are great opportunities to add some bling. So that's going to be, I kind of look at it as a big picture and say, what do I feel like needs bling? So the reds and the golds, I'm going to definitely add as accents. So anywhere that's like these things like reds and golds definitely need some accenting. The yellows, to me, I'm going to really kind of try to spiffy up some of these yellows and make them a little bit blingier with what I have to make more of like a shimmer and kind of make them a little bit more accented for some of the yellows, between a combination of like the different drills that I have. Anything with a flower, I like to really bling up flowers. I'm really going to accent the design, the motif, this design on the vest. I may look and see about adding some drills around this accent of the vest as well. I may do some like the puffy part of the vest that I may end up using some oh gosh, what are they called? Pixie dust drills around that area. And then the lantern, I really want the lanterns to be really sparkly and shiny because I feel like the lanterns are a great standout point for these lanterns right here. I would love to have some really bright accent on those. I probably won't add a lot of bling on the outline around that. I feel like that doesn't necessarily need to be blinged up. that's kind of like an overview of what I'm thinking about. To make it easier on myself, what I like to do is I like to actually kit up all of the drills first, because then I can just look at here and I can say, okay, what symbol is this? Pull out that symbol, and then once I have the symbol in hand, I can take that symbol, because right here you don't have a good idea of the color. Rather than having to come over to the legend, which is too time consuming for me, I just pull out the actual drills, because I don't do this unless I have like the kit in hand sometimes. So if I know I'm going to do this for an event, I will take the kit that I'm doing for the event, pull it out a little bit ahead of time, and I'll say, okay, these are the drills that I'm going to work on. Looking at the canvas, what area do I want to have as a highlight? And I like to, an easy way to think about it is anything that you want to accent, you can use as like pixie dust, or you could do pixie dust, pretty much can go anywhere, I found. But for accents, ABs are really good for accents, and crystal ABs are really, really good for accents. Oh, I need to pull my crystal ABs out. And then my crystals are usually good for adding more of a depth. So I tend to put those in areas that are more of like a low light. So if I wanted to accent this area right here a little bit more, that darker area, or things like that, I would do more of like a low light or other areas. But the ones that I really want to bring out, I tend to do more of like a AB or a crystal AB, because those tend to add a little bit more of a shimmer. And I do want to add some metallics in here as well. I do have my one, like I have a lot of metallics. These are some crystals. I do have some nice shimmery, like look at this beautiful crystal 742. That's a beautiful one. And sometimes I'll actually try to color match like the exact color. Other times I'll just look at it and I'll be like, okay, does this color match another color that's over here? And I'll actually look at it that way rather than trying to do a one-for-one match. But I'll pull out those. I am in the process of redoing my special drill organization, because I don't like the way that I have them right now. I just have them like this. I'd rather have them in a better organized manner, but they're at least semi-organized. And since the drills should be pretty much the same for both lanterns, it doesn't really matter what lantern we go with. We do have a few ABs already in this kit. I think we have 4 ABs already in the kit, 3 or 4. I'd have to look and see. Does that actually fit over here? No, too tight if it fit. We do have an AB 209, so a pretty purple AB, accenting some of these areas in here around our, around the perimeter of our cat. And then we do have some AB 310, just as a slight accent in some areas. That's actually going to be in the eyes for that. And then there is some 775 AB, which is actually any of these light areas right up here. That's all AB, AB, AB. So that's in some good areas to add some shine for this area for an AB. So that's 3 ABs, and I think there's one more AB. So 775. No, maybe that's only the 3 ABs that we had. So we had 3 ABs. Yeah, 3 ABs for this one already. And I'm going to be adding more. So I like to have these laid out so I can see the color palette as is. To give you guys a feel for these colors, these are the colors that we have. And now I'm going to kind of work on some of the color matching. And I do not necessarily by DMC. I like to go based more off of what color actually matches holding it up, because sometimes DMCs don't necessarily match. So I'm going to have these, I'm going to sit it right over here because I'm going to work on this section right here for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit more. Just with this color here, that color there. Let me see. If I turn on this light, does that give us a glare on that section of canvas? Yes, it does. Okay. So we're just going to work with the 2 side lights today. And we'll have our crystal ABs to kind of like rifle through color-wise if I want. But I kind of want to start with some of the golds and see what I've got for golds and sparklers, because those are going to be spectacular. So we're going to check out some of the metallics. Let me look at some of the symbols that I want to pull out. So I've got this 725 and 726. So these are a couple of them that I'm going to pull out right in here that kind of make up this bulk of this area here, that I definitely want some shimmer. And I want to try to do some pixie dust in that area as well. I'm gonna move some of these over. There's so many drills. I kind of sprawl out. I did go through and organize my pixie dust, and I tried to make it so that way I put the names of the colors on top. I do have some new pixie dust on the way. So as you can see, usually the pixie dust kind of end up with a slightly different shade. So I'm not going to have the exact shade, but I'll get something pretty similar potentially. And I have 2 flats of pixie dust, as you can see here. So I'm going to take the lids off so we can work a little bit better. And I can get some of the creamy colors, but these are going to be my closest yellows, but I have a lot of browns in here, and I do have some different browns in pixie dust. So that's going to give me some options pixie dust wise that I could potentially work with for some of these. So, and this is kind of what I do is I decide, and once I know what color I want to do, I'll set it off to the side with that color. Like this actually looks like it would be an option, maybe. But, and you'll see, this is a slow process that I do because I'm trying to decide what do I want to be metallic and what do I want to be pixie dusted. Like there's a yellow pixie dust, which actually would work well with some of these paler ones, but it depends on where the color is on the canvas as to where I want it. And do I want more yellow or do I want some metallics? So now I'm going to go through the metallics and I'm just going to rifle through looking at color and see, do I want metallic gold? Because I do have metallic gold, so I'm going to pull that out. And I have my drills for these ones in alphabetical order. Here is a lemonade, and sometimes I'll just take it and I'll see, does this look like it matches any of these? And I feel like that shade is not quite a shade that I feel like goes with that color family at all. And then I'll look at this. This is a mango color. Do I feel like this is a metallic shade that is a family that I feel like goes with some of these family of drills? And this is kind of like part of my process. If I'm thinking I want some of these, but I'm not sure if that color will go with something, I'll just pull it out and I will look and I'll say, does this go? Do I feel like it goes? Because I love metallics, but I'm like, ooh, maybe it goes with some of those. And it's not going to be an exact. I'm like, but I think it may go as an accent or a replacement. That nutmeg may be a good alternative for this drill, but I'd have to double check on where that drill goes on this canvas. That's going to be kind of shading in here. So I don't know that I want to use that one per se. So that one, we're going to set it off in there because I don't think so. And again, it's not an exact science. It's like you kind of make it up as you go. But this purple orchid could be a good accent for some of this background for this one as an option. Or even in, because we've got some ABs there, so maybe as an option for one of these other purples that I have. Maybe even in this other color right here, this instead of using a 210, because I have this AB here, but I could also add in some metallics to go with the AB in the purples of the vest. That would be a good option. I'm looking down to see if there's some purples in the flowers. Oh yeah, that would be good. I may add some metallics in the vest. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper so I can write down some of my thoughts. My paper doesn't want me to grab it. It's running away from me. So I'm thinking, because I'm not sure, so I'm gonna think some orchid. I'm thinking as, because I don't want to use that for the entirety. I'm only going to use it parts. As you can see, that's definitely not the same color family, or not the same complete color match, but I think that would go well as an accent in this areas where it's going to go right through here. So I want that to be just in the vest only, because it's not going to be a complete swap throughout the entirety of the canvas. But I've also got this, maybe, oh, actually the peony pink I think will go better. So this is where I'm kind of going through, and you can see, look at that peony pink. That actually goes really well. This peony pink goes really well. So this is where we turn on the light so you can see better. And you can see that peony pink is actually a really good match for this metallic peony pink for 210. So that's actually what we're going to do for that one. So even though I'm working up here, I'm like, nope, that one actually goes well. So we're going to put the metallic orchid back in there because we're using peony pink for that. So this is one that I'm swapping out, and we're going to say peony pink, and that's going to be vest only that I want to make that swap for. Ooh, here's some pyrite and some rose gold. Pyrite might be an option for, I kind of like that pyrite for one. Rose gold is a little brown. So do I have H or N? Where's H and N? I did not go through and organize this as well at all. So H and N are more red. So those are not, or H is more red. Let's see what N is. We're gonna turn this down. I don't like that glare for you guys. I know it gives us the color, but let's see if we can turn that back down without, we'll just go back to the ambient lighting in here. So I can eyeball and decide, do I want to use any of these? And where would these colors go? Drills, drills, drills. It's not an exact science, but I'm kind of leaning towards using, I'm going to set this up over here, out of the way. I kind of like this pyrite and this metallic gold. I want to use those somewhere. But I don't know if I'm going to use them quite for these. We'll see. I do also have these yellows. So these are some of the yellows that I do have. I do have, ooh, this one, this L. Actually, I'm going to use this 445. Well, let's see. And a 3078. This is going to be a little bit of an accent down there. I do have a 445. Okay. So I could actually do the 445 with a pixie dust. So that would work for this one. So I am going to do a 445 for a 445 pixie dust, even though the shade, as you can see, is not the same, but that doesn't have to be exact. And I do have a 3078 pixie dust, which I could use for another little bit of an accent for those areas that need some accent in here. So I could have a couple different pixie dusts if I wanted. So here's another really light pixie dust. I wouldn't necessarily need it everywhere because there's a lot of, well, because I could do that. So there's two pixie dusts that I may potentially swap out for some of the highlights because I've got them, so I might as well use them. Let's see. This R, I don't know where the R is at, so we'll go and put that back right there. We're going to use this purple, which is kind of scattered throughout. I really want to use this. Let's see, what color is this one? I want to do something with these colors here. The A is kind of scattered, so one of these I would like to have be gold. Really like to have one of these in a gold. And this one I'm going to go ahead and put back. So then I have to decide, which one do I want to be gold? And do I want to do, so I'm going to slide the pick, because I think I'll be good with some of those as pixie dust. Let me see. Or do I want to pull out, what do I have in sparklers? I also have bubbles. So I have a couple different colors in bubbles that I could use. I do have this Terra bubbler as well, which I could add in for some of E or N, lowercase e or N. So, ooh, that's actually a really good match. So I could use some bubbles of this kind of scattered in here as a little bit of a accent. That's a pretty good color match for in the lantern area in here. Just in this area, just a little bit of it to add some texturing in that accent. And then it looks like we may have some of that over into, do we even have, yeah, we do have a little bit of it accenting there. Because, you know, you've got them, you might as well use them as a little bit of a coloring match. I'm kind of on the fence for this one, but I'm going to put it over here as an option. So we'll see what I think. And sometimes it's a matter of kind of putting the drills down. I don't know if there are any other ones. I do have the white bubbles that I could add if I wanted some accent on some of the white of our kitty. I could put some of the white Luna bubbles into. And then these are the other ones that I have. Some blues, which they don't really go for this kit. But I do have some sparklers, and I have a few more sparklers already in here. Oh, yes. Here we are. So these are the ones that are I've already used on other things. I have some copper, some gold sparklers, and I have, these are some 444 metallics that I already have for some stuff. And then these are my other sparklers. So like I said, I have a lot of special drills. I don't really see needing a silver. Hot pink is kind of like a, no, that one doesn't really, I see a purpose for this one in this kit per se. Well, maybe I could do some hot pink sparklers in here, but maybe down into here. Actually, that might be good accent for that per se. Some clear sparklers. And then these are the other sparklers. I've got a velvet violet. That's not going to go. This royal purple could potentially work. I have some Rhapsody, which actually I think would be better than the hot pink. Razzle Dazzle. Pansies, Mystical. Midnight, so I've got some dark ones. I have the Lagoon. Honeydew. Ooh, Honeydew would actually, I think, would work well in here somewhere. So I'm going to pull out the Honeydew. Frozen. Fairy Dust would actually might be a good potential sparkler to add in here for an accent. So I'm going to pull out that one. And the Dreamcatcher, I'm going to leave that one. I don't, because I kind of like I haven't played around too much with sparklers as much as I have with some of the other ones. But I'm going to I'm trying to add a variety. I'm still on the fence about whether I want to add these or not. And if I do, it may only be a little bit. But I'm really on the fence. And I think adding those, for me, is a new thing. I'm leaning a little bit more towards no and just sticking with some of the ones that I'm a little bit more familiar with to start off with. And going with some of these other ones. I'm still debating what I want to do with the metallics. I set my metallics somewhere. I don't know where I put them. We got that one settled. We got that settled. We're figuring out what we want to do with these. The metal pyrite. Where did we put those drills? We put them somewhere. And I don't know where I put them. All right. And we can pull out some crystals and see what we think. So we can kind of get an idea of where we want. This would be a good one for kind of accenting up around. Ooh, that would be a good accent up there into a little bit of, nope, it's a little bit of the browns. Maybe accenting like in a capital E. Where's my capital E? These are the maybes. This is the no. Copper sparkler. Gold sparkler. Those are just ABs. These are the yes, yes. This is the haven't touched it yet, so probably won't. I still want to accent some of these into some golds. But we did the L's. We did that. I want to do the V. I want to do some of these into a gold accent. But which one do I want to make the gold and which one do I want to make more of like a honeydew gold? This needs to be yellow. These are going to go more down into here. We're going to take care of those ones because I don't want them. Let's see, make sure I don't have anything down here. The Omega symbol is going to be a big one. Ooh, I think I'll use this. I was just peeking ahead. I think I may use these sparklers. Maybe. Combination of these for some of the flowers. So I'm going to use those down in the other part. And then this one, I feel like the honeydew wants to be up into, ooh, Z. I think I was leaning towards something neutral-ish. Where is our Z at? I thought I saw it around here. So the hardest part is finding the symbol that you're looking for. So we're going to use the Z for some honeydew to add a little bit of a sparkle. And it looks like that one is actually in a lot of these swooshes, which actually would look really good to give a shimmer of these swooshes here. Because these are ABs right there. So these little swooshes of light coming through, or the of the lines hanging down, we're going to make those shimmery in this honeydew. So we're going to do that. Now, where are we at? 13. So I still have yet to figure out what I want to use for these ones. Which one do I want to be metal? And that one. This is going to be down further. And then I'll write everything down on a piece of paper once I've kind of like settled it out. We're going to pull out, we're going to look at some crystals. Let me move my crystals over here. Hopefully you can kind of see that it looks like absolute madness of what I'm doing right now, because it totally is madness. So I do have some of my, these are my tiny bags that I like to use for from Lazy River, from my scoops, is what I have over here. I'm still building my scoops collection, so I don't have very many. And then I have my glitter drills. Ooh, 437. That's a nice neutral color, which would be a nice, and this is just like a clear with a little bit of gold on it, which is a nice neutral color for a nice neutral, which would be good for something very, very like this. That would be kind of cool to do some glitters for that. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to do some glitter. Just add a little accent for that, kind of throughout wherever that one goes on the canvas. It's just a nice little neutral color. And now I'm just kind of looking to see if there's a similar DMC, because I don't have very many. I just have some of the glitters. Let's see. What color was this one? I don't think there's any 6, 7, 18. Yeah, I don't think I have those colors in here. 760, 824, 907, 947. Yeah, I didn't think I'd have any of those colors in here. Into 3825. Yeah, nowhere near those colors. That's a nice neutrally color too. I kind of liking this color here. That's a nice color, which would look kind of nice as well to add this in. Like, which one do I like better? Neither of them is, I think that one's a closer match, but I like this peachy tone of that one. So you can see how I started with an idea where I was just going to work with that, and now I've kind of devolved into what color do I like that looks well with all of this. And that's what I've devolved into. And you can see there's like no rhyme or reason, but this is the process that I go through. And then I kind of look here and I see which one do I think it looks well with. And I actually like this for here to add a little glitter. Like, it just adds a different look. I'm going to do this because I had talked about potentially doing this 3853 that I wanted to bling up this drill in the areas, not in the perimeter of the canvas, but on the spots where it is in here and everywhere else on the canvas. I think I'm going to do that one. You could do it throughout, but I think I'm just going to do it there. So now we're going to put 16 back right there. And we're going to put this one back in here. So 437 is going to go back in 437 slot. And then let's look at what we've got for some colors. So, and that'll go with some accents in here. Let's see, ease what do I have for E? Because I still want to do these. And then I want to do, what color? Which one is E? 402. Okay. This is a brown that I need to do. So these are colors that I want to kind of do some like metallic-y shimmer, because they are this and this right in here. Some of it I've already pulled some drills for blinging up, but some of it I have not. Like this is one for down in here, and some of them I'll just swap and put the drills in whether they call for it or not. For down in here in the vest, that's going to be one. So what do I have as far as crystals that I think would go? Those are red crystals, not happening. 402, 3771. I don't know that I don't have a lot of crystals yet. I'm still slowly building up the crystals collection. Those are like a really dark brown, or those are really dark. Ooh, those are like, that's a nice deep crystal. I feel like I could easily add those into this kit somewhere. More of a brown. It's a burgundy. Actually, where are these ones go? Triangles. Where did the triangles gonna go? Okay, those are up around, up in here. Okay, because that, I like this brown. And I kind of want to add that crystal in here somewhere. And I'm just thinking, what is the color that would go well with to replace? Maybe. I feel like it catches the light pretty well. Because this crystal is, it very much catches the light well. Let me turn it on. You have got to see this crystal. So, let me turn that light back on. Because I turned it down because we were trying things. It didn't work. But look at that. You can see the tones that picks up. Kind of like that. Yeah, you can see how light that is. I'm liking that. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use it for this or not. Or if I want to choose a different one to replace it with. But I kind of have to pick with what I feel it kind of picks up the tones of. But I definitely want to use this tone in there. And I'm almost kind of going for, no, that's not the right tone. I'm definitely leaning towards this R. Like that R, or is it more of a U? I'm thinking more towards that R. Where is it more? No, that's more of a red. We're going to go with this R. We're going to go with this one here. This crystal 434. We're going to go with this one. Maybe we'll see, unless I find something different. And that'll kind of accent some of the other areas in the canvas for that crystal there. All right. Now, what else do I have? So that was the 400s. Boom. Like I said, I don't have a ton of crystals yet. The crystals haven't been as big of a color for me, or as big of a drill type for me, because I find them harder to add into a canvas unless I'm doing flowers. Like this is one that I'm going to pull out because I can find somewhere. I feel like I definitely need to add one of these. Maybe instead of using crystals, instead of using the metals, I add, but I feel like those two would go well together. The crystal and then the metallic pyrite, those two would go together very well as two of these colors here, and then maybe a crystal AB for the third one. I think that would go well for these three. And I just swapped these three colors for like those and something else. Here is a 973. I don't like that one as much. Boom. Let's see. No. And I do have ABs where I can add a whole bunch more ABs if I wanted as well, which I may add some more ABs into the reds because I do have a lot of ABs. So we're going to put those over there, pull out the crystal ABs because I love a look of a good crystal AB. So these I have right here, and we're just going to kind of look at them from the back sides to see if I have any that kind of give me the yellow vibes for this top part. And I kind of combined the ones that I had double bagged, so it looks like I have a lot of some of these colors. But I should have some yellows in here. I'm hoping for some yellows. Here is a paler yellow. I need one that's going to match with those, though. Ooh, that one's a fun one. That's a possibility. Here's a 741, which that one would totally go with those. So 741 we're going to keep out because it's an option for sure. And then let's see what we've got. If there's any other crystal ABs in here that are a better match than that. I have a lot of like the blues and greens, which are really pretty colors. So I think that's going to be our best bet for the crystal ABs. And then I just have to decide which one I want to swap around. Because as you can see, these are the three. We've got this metallic pyrite. I lost my gold metallic somewhere. I left it somewhere. And then we've got this crystal AB 741 and a crystal 742. These three colors, which if we go off of the color families here, they're all very similar. This one seems to be the brightest. And then we have a slightly muted and then a more dulled. So I feel like this one seems to be very bright. And then we have our gold. So which one is that one? That one's the A, which would be more of an accent. But which one do I want the most of? I feel like it should be this one with a little bit of the metallics and then the crystal AB, rather than having the crystal and the crystal AB next to each other. I may have to get another bag of some of these, but that's fine. That's easy enough to do. I'm doing this early enough so I can kind of get an idea. So I'm leaning towards this layout. And the A's are kind of scattered in here, kind of scattered throughout. So doing those is like the crystal AB, I think would work well. Or I could do them as just the straight crystal. But I haven't really decided. But the nice thing is that they're interspersed. And I may place a few drills as I'm laying them down. I may place a couple of them and then be like, I don't like how that looks. And one of the big keys I'm going to do is I am not going to be using these specials in this border. The border is going to be as charted. And that'll give it a little bit of a difference between this and this, a little of that differentiation. So we're going to go with this layout here. And as you can see, the colors are not a one-for-one match, and it doesn't have to be. And that's one of the things that I love about doing the special drills like this, is I don't make things a one-for-one match. So this is something that I do still want to bling up the E, because it's going to come down here, and I feel like it still needs a little something something. So actually, that actually will work well. So I'm going to make that copper sparklers. So I do need to order another bag of copper sparklers, but that's going to be copper sparklers, because if you look, those are actually very much a similar color. And I think we get down into these flowers because I want more bling in the flowers. This is another color that I haven't done anything to. So we're going to put those two together. I'm going to bring you guys down a little bit so you can see a little bit more of my madness. I know we've been going for a while on my madness of what I do with my bling. And we're going to take you up a little bit I'm going to move these out of the way. We're going to take it up, slide it so we can see our flowers. All right, so we're down here. We already know, looking at this bottom part, I've kind of got these colors already taken care of. I do need to do something with some of these reds. I didn't even look at the reds up top, but I can just kind of look and know which reds. I can peek back at the top and see what reds I need to touch. Let me look at that for the main reds. Okay, so our main reds that we have are the asterisk and the H. Those are the two primary reds up there. So if we wanted to do something, the main one being this asterisk, that's the big one that I would want to do something to. So what do I have that's a 608? Do I have an AB 608? I do not. Do I have a I do have a 606, which is pretty doggone close for this right here. So I may have to I'm either going to use this pixie dust 606, or I'm gonna order, I may just do like that. It's a little bit orangier than I would want, but I feel like it's pretty close. But that's a lot of drills for that one. But we're gonna call that close enough. I don't know that, I'd have to look and see. I have some more pixie dust on the way to me. I just bought them as the set. I'm gonna check and see what color pixie dusts I ordered and see if there happens to be like a 608. But that's a pretty similar kind of orangey that you can see right there, and I'm gonna call that close enough. So like I said, I'm going with what I have. What I have is a 606 pixie dust. I think that's gonna add a little bit of shimmer to kind of counter the fact that I have those that you can't quite see, but I have these right here, so that's gonna accent some of those crystals with a little bit of this pixie dust. I want to add some, I need to add some ABs though. I don't have any ABs really in this, and I need some ABs. So I may actually swap that out. I like ABs, so I want to do some ABs. Those are straight orange. This is a more of a, ooh, that's a 351. What is this? This is 350. 350, 351. That's close enough. I feel like those are very similar families of color, and with the fact that those are slightly off, this color actually I feel like would go with that one a little bit better. So it calls for 350. I have 351. You can always swap and do colors that you would prefer that are closer. I, again, am working with what I have color-wise. I don't have the exact, actually, because you can see this is the 351 that it calls for, which is so totally not this 351. So this is why I don't always pull the exact DMC, because this 351 is not this 351 AB. My 351 AB is a much closer match to 350. So that's why I go based off of like what color lines up more, because I would say this is a match right here, because I want to use more ABs to kind of give some accent. Like this to me is much more of a peachy color. And then are there any other tones that I want to add a little bit more? Like I said, I like ABs. I have only now added one AB to this. And granted, it has 3 ABs in here. It's got this AB. This doesn't really count because it's just the eyeballs. And then this AB, the blue. So I want more ABs. I love ABs. ABs are like my happy place. I would like to add a few more to it. If there's grays, I love adding some grays as ABs. I feel like they are a great accent. Anytime you can get your hand, add a gray AB into anything, it looks really good. Though they're a great accent point. Here's a 321 AB, which is a great red. That is actually a pretty close match for this 304 AB. That's a pretty close match right there. This is more of a red, but that's more of like a duller red. But looking at my colors in here, that's an option, which is another red that I could add in. And again, I won't necessarily add it everywhere. I'll add it in a lot of places, but not all of the places. I'll kind of like, as I'm working on the canvas, I will look at it and say, okay, where do I want to add these drills? And let me see if there's anything else that I want to do. Oh, I talked about the flowers. So this will be like, I'll do the ABs to bling up like the lanterns for sure. And then I will do the lanterns, anything that blings up on the vest, and then on here, and then a little bit along this plate, and this right here will be this line right here on the plate. I won't do the entire plate, but I'll probably just do this line right here on our plate. Now, let's see. I have not touched, what was I want to do something with this fairy dust. So that's one of our blings. That's one of our blings. I need to look at these purple flowers. That's what I need to do. Purple flowers. We've got that right there. We've already done the 210, which is kind of in the background of the vest right here. I want to use this right here, the sparkler fairy dust. Let me move this over, which I think would be a good accent. Just looking at this, what do we have? We have X and we have Omega, which are more pinky than anything else, but I feel like this picks up some good pinks. And I think it's more X than anything. So that's going to go for flowers. So flowers are going to be, add this, the purple, the other the metallic that we already added, and then you do still want some regular drills, so we don't have to bling everything up, but I may add an AB for this one. I'm running out of space here. So I may actually add, see if I think I do have, a 3608 is a pretty standard color AB, so let me look. I kind of didn't finish rifling through all my ABs. I have a lot of like pinks, and I love my pinks, so I have a lot of like pinky tones in ABs, but this doesn't have a lot of pinks. It's a lot of oranges and reds, and those are ones that I don't have a ton of. But I know I should have, I think I have both 3608 and 3609 in AB, but I think I want to use that one. I'm kind of going outside of my comfort zone here. This is such an awesome gray, 762, such an awesome gray. All right, let's look at our, here's another great red, if I felt like that was a closer, no, that one I think is a better one. Let's see, 304, should that be an 8? Which one do I feel like is a better match? They're both very similar. The 817 and the 321 are very, very similar reds. Oh. They're so, so similar. Look at this. You guys, this is like such a close color match that it's hard to tell. I'm going to give you guys that like close up of it. And it's like, so this is one of those things where it's like, I'm thinking actually 817 might be a better match than the, let's see. This is a 321. But I'm trying to give you guys options of all where you could do a one-stop shop. And I think that's because they didn't have that color at DP with sparklers. So I went with, so I had to get those ones from Diamond Painting Drills. They may have it now, but I'm trying to show you like bling that is all from one shop. I think this is one of only like 3 colors that I had to purchase elsewhere when I was blinging up a kit. But I think that one might be a closer match to this one, is the 817 AB. So if you can get an 817 AB from DP with sparklers now, that one's a better match. But when I was originally blinging up a certain kit, I went with, I had to buy that from a different shop because they didn't have it at DP with sparklers. But if not, the 321 will match. So I'm going to leave that one out just in case. I have to do, when I give you guys my list of what I go, what would be the best bet. Let's see, we're looking for a 3609. 3609. 3607, 3608, 3609. See, look at that. I told you I had all of those colors. And look at that. Boom. Slightly different shade, but close enough. And that will go great with, oh, I want, well, that's, of course it's a slightly different shade. I pulled out the wrong drills. I need 3608. See, look at that. Much better color match. 3608. And we have an AB there. And I feel like that is plenty enough. I just need to write out exactly what I'm adding bling-wise, because that's a lot of like color swaps and bling. So let me move some of this off to the side. I am going to move my drill container off to the side, and we are going to write out what we are doing. Let me turn off this light so we are not blinding ourselves here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the canvas. And we will see, we're going to kind of put it in order a little bit of what we've got. Everything has a match, but I like to put it in order so we can see. All right. So now to look at our lantern, we are going to have lanterns are going to be, this is the part where I kind of organize the chaos a little bit and say, what colors do we have in the lantern? We have symbols for 304. I just basically write this, and we're going to say that's going to go for either 321 or 817 AB. So we're going to set this off to the side, saying that that's one of them. And then we're also going to do 8, which is 350. I decided in here I want this one to have a little bit of bling as well. So what color am I going to make that one? Actually, that looks like a pretty good match. So we've got a couple of those. We've got some gold sparklers. So we've got some copper. Actually, that will work. So we go from some E's, the L's, E, F, E's in there, F over in here, and then U down in here. So we're going to do this one right here for that one. So the vest is going to have an extra one right there. So that's basically what we're going to do, in case you were wondering with the layout of what it looks like. So now I'm going to kit all of these special drills up and show you guys what it looks like. Since these are not going to be completely one-for-one swaps, I usually have this written up as a cheat sheet that I will have with me when I'm working on the canvas. And I tend to actually do a lot of the specials first, just because it is such a complicated thing working on all of these specials. I tend to actually like work up the special drills first in like whatever section I'm working on, and then I'll finish that section, move to the next section, do the specials first. Or I may do specials throughout the entirety of the canvas, depending on how I'm working on the canvas. And I'll show you how I do my kitting up the rest of the way now that I've got the specials done. And I will come back, show you what that looks like once I do that, because I'm just going to put them all right in here, because I've got room potentially for the rest of those specials in here, because it only went to yeah, it only went to like right there, so I could potentially finish. How many did I add in? We added what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17. So you can fit 13 here, 14, 15. I'll be rearranging a little bit. So I'll rearrange these, and I should be able to kind of fit, my goal will be to fit them all into one tray. But I will be back with what the finished product looks like and show you the kit up, and I will rewrite this so it's a little bit more legible, so you can see once I've added these all out a little bit more into the way that I will like write them all up. But I'll divide them by like where what goes where. And the kind of ones that I'm maybe, and I may not even put them in, would be like this crystal right here. It's kind of like a maybe. As I'm working on it, I may decide that I don't like this and I will not do it. But this is kind of like the layout and the lowdown of what I'm going to be doing. And at any point, if I don't like what it looks like, I just don't do it. You start with a little section, you're like, not liking how it looks, pull them off, don't do them. But that's what I'm working towards, so I'll be back. All right, so I have now organized the drills, and I wanted to kind of show you guys the cleaned up version of my cheat sheet of what I'm going to go by. And you can see I kitted up all of the specials, and I was able to arrange it in such a way that they all fit in one tray, which is wonderful and simple and easy day. And I put I use the extra bags that we get when we buy things, and you know, I saved those baggies, and now all of the containers and the drill baggies, they go right here, so that way it's all in one place. And I know this is for Lunar Mew Year Kitty. And now you can see here, we have a cleaned up like list of what we've got. So I organized it all for the way, like I just organized it for ease of being able to find my drills, because they were all scattered. So what I've been finding is the easy way to do is to do alphabet, numbers, and then special symbol, or like numbers and then alphabet and then special symbols. This one actually didn't have any numbers. It just went from alphabet into special symbols. So I did the alphabet first, and then I have all of the special symbols after it. So these are alphabet and these are special symbols. So see here, what I did, like for the symbols that we have, I didn't put the symbol over here on my cheat sheet because of the way I kit up. I actually have a combination of everything. So if I need, and what I will do, I will go back through because of how I changed my order. I will go through and I will put the code of what it is next to this to make it easy to find, because I changed the order. So like if we look down through, if I'm looking for 4, which is 304, in order to be able to easily find it over here, 4 is going to be the weird funky symbol. So that's going to be this one right here. I will write this symbol on it so I know that that's a symbol, and I'm needing to bling that one up for this. So I have, because there are going to be areas on this kit where I am not blinging it up, I have both the blinged up version that you can see here. I wanted to be able to have the colors, which is why we have my glary top light, because otherwise you lose some of the color when I'm doing this. But you can see here some of the areas, and I went with the 321 for this one. So some of the areas on this chart, on this canvas, I'm going to use the original color right here. I'm not doing a 1-for-1 swap in the entire canvas. It's only some areas, which is why we have it divided up, and we have the areas for the lantern. So the lanterns, yes, I'm going to use the 321 AB, but the areas that are not the lantern, I'm going to use the actual regular drill instead. So that's why I do both, and I'll have them sitting just like this, side by side, and I know, hey, I'm working on a lantern. I need to look, is this one of the codes that's a lantern right here? And that's kind of my tell when I'm looking at my symbols. So you can see I've got it all kitted up just like this. You have the regular drill and then the special drill that goes with it underneath as we go down through. I do need to order more coffee or copper sparklers for that one because that's the one that I am running low on. So regular drill, special drill, regular drill, special drill. And I've got it like that the entire way through this kit. And then over here, you can see these are the swaps that we made, our lanterns. We're going to have a lot of bling in the lanterns, which was the goal. And then we've got a few more that we're added bling to for the vest, some bling on the vests. Flowers, we've got a couple different areas for bling for the flowers. In the background, we just have 2 things that we're adding on the background to add a little extra oomph. And then throughout, we're going to add that 1 pixie dust kind of throughout. And I may need to order another baggie of that pixie dust, just depending on the quantity. We'll see. That one was 3078, which is going to be, I need to kind of get an idea if it is going to be, okay, so that is a symbol. And these symbols are in order. So 3078, that's not an excessive amount. It almost fits in one of these containers. So I may be able to get by with just using the amount that I have here, because we will have extras. The majority of it is going to be this yellowish color that we have there. So we have these yellows right in here, and then some of and it will be scattered throughout, but that's going to be the pixie dust. And then the cat, I didn't do any pixie dust or anything for the 3865. I'm just going to use the white for the kitty for that. But that is kind of the end of what it will look like when I have it fully done. And I'll leave this with here, and when I'm working on my canvas, I will actually take this and I will tape it to my canvas. So that way I know exactly what I'm doing, and I've got my cheat sheet. And then at the end, when I'm done, I will tape this into my logbook. So that way I've got, like, I always know exactly what I added bling-wise, because this will go right into my logbook, and I can always refer back to it. So if somebody wants to know what I did, I will be able to say, hey, this is exactly what I swapped out on my kit. Normally, I don't reorganize my drills when I'm doing a blinging kit because it makes it harder to find because they're not in order, which is why I'm going to put the symbol right through there. But for my purposes, it fit them in here properly because they did not fit in here with how they were organized. So I did have to reorganize them. And also it makes it easier to find if they're in alphabetical order right here. Because then you know, hey, I'm looking for D. Where's the D at? Well, it's right here because D is, between C and E. So you pull it out. Versus before D was 29. So you'd have to find the hunt and it wasn't in an organized manner, which always is annoying to me. So it just makes it a little easier to find. But anyways, now Lunar Mew Year Kitty is ready to go, all kitted up and ready for February for the start of the event. So we are good to go. And I kind of wanted to give you that as an idea, which I haven't decided if I'm going to have this video up ahead of time or if I am going to have it as one of my videos for the event. We will see, but I wanted to kind of get this going so I could order anything I wanted to do for the event. And you can do some of these things if you wanted to just try a little bit of bling, then start with saying, hey, let me just do the lanterns. Just do the lanterns, just do down here and just do a little bit. You don't have to do everything. You could start with just adding some bling In the vest, you could just do a little bit. You don't have to do everything that I'm showing you here. You can do just a little bit. It doesn't have to be the entirety. You could just pick 1 or 2 drills and do that. You don't have to do everything that I'm doing here. I like a lot of bling in my canvases, which is why you're seeing a lot of bling right here. So I just wanted to show you how I go through my process. As easy, challenging, convoluted, what inefficient it may look, this is the process I go through to give you a canvas like this. And if you want to see that process in action, you can kind of check out some of my previous post reviews that I've done. I think I did that same process on some of the other kits that I have done it with. I know I did that same process as I was going back through. I did it with Lady Luck by Romy Lerda. I did that same thing with, prior to that, I know I did a similar process in a smaller format for Boba Kitty by Munimade. Some of my smaller kits I've definitely done it with if you wanted to see. And anytime I do a bling like this, I do a post review. I added very minimal bling to the Kitschy Deer from Enabler's Outpost. I literally added 2 special drills to that. So if you want to see all spectrum of special drill, I added bling to my 2 kits from Sparkle Queen Creations that I have, both the Kawaii Rainbow and Rainbow Poop Emoji. I added bling to those. I didn't add any bling for a few of them that I had for a while, because you can see I'll add them on the back side of when I'm working on a kit. I'll tape them in with either a sticky note. Normally I try to have those are my cheap kits, so I didn't add any bling there, but like this, you can see how I did it right there. There was another one that I did a lot of bling on. Okay, yeah, this is one that I added a lot to, was my talisman. This is one that I did a lot on right here, and that was probably the first one that I did all out with, was talisman. So that's the original art right there, talisman. I went all out. So if you want to see how beautiful it can look when done, you can check out the post review that I have up for talisman and see how gorgeous that looks when completed. It's beautiful. But that's how many I swapped out for talisman. It's quite a few. 13 that I swapped out there, plus I added some half pearls throughout. So this will be more. This will be my first time adding this many. I think we have like 17 that we've charted out for that. 17 separate things, because some of them are repeated a couple different times. But 17 separate specials that I've added in on this one. But that is the plan for Lunar Mew Year Kitty. So I hope you enjoyed that and kind of got an idea of the bling process that I go through when I'm planning out some of these kits that I do, and I hope it was helpful. So have a great day, everybody, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.